If you've ever been involved in commercial real estate transaction, you may have come across something called a tenant estoppel certificate. For many buyers, lenders, and sometimes real estate agents, this document plays a key role in the success of a transaction, but not everyone fully understands what it is or why it's so important. So let's break it down. A tenant estoppel certificate is a legal document provided by the tenant of a commercial property. It essentially verifies the details of the tenant's lease. Think of it as a fact-checking tool for the buyer or lender. When a property is being sold or refinanced, the buyer or lender needs to know that the income stream that they're relying on is secure. That's where the tenant estoppel certificate comes in. The certificate certifies several important details: the lease's start and end dates, the current rent, any rent increases, whether the tenant has made any claims or complaints against the landlord, and whether the tenant believes the landlord is in default of its obligations under the lease. This document serves as a written confirmation of the lease terms and helps ensure that there are no surprises once the sale or refinance goes through. But why is this so crucial in commercial real estate transactions? Well, first, it's about verification. The buyer or lender is using the tenant estoppel certificate to make sure the lease is in good standing. For example, if a landlord says the tenant is paying $10,000 a month in rent, the certificate confirms whether that's actually the case. Second, it helps manage risk. Commercial real estate is all about income streams, and a large part of the property's value comes from the rent that the tenants are paying. If there are any disputes between the tenant and the landlord, maybe unpaid rent or disagreements about repairs, that could have a significant impact on the buyer's return on investment or the lender's security in the loan. Third, the tenant estoppel certificate provides transparency. It ensures that there are no unspoken issues or undisclosed lease modifications. For example, let's say a tenant had negotiated a lease amendment with lower rent in exchange for their own property improvements, but that amendment wasn't documented with the buyer. The estoppel certificate forces those kinds of details into the light. In a typical transaction, the buyer-lender requests estoppel certificates from all the tenants in a building or commercial complex as part of their due diligence process. This is especially important in multi-tenant properties like shopping centers or office buildings, where the new owner or lender is relying on each tenant to continue fulfilling their lease obligations. So when does a tenant estoppel certificate become critical? Usually during the sale or refinance of a commercial property. Without it, the buyer or lender is taking on a huge amount of risk because there's no certainty when it comes to that the leases exist or what the obligations are. In summary, tenant estoppel certificates are a vital piece of the puzzle for buyers and lenders of any commercial transaction. They provide assurance that the income stream tied to the property is accurate and reliable, and helps make sure that all the parties are informed. So if you're involved in a commercial real estate transaction, don't overlook this document. It could be key to a successful deal. If you need help drafting a tenant estoppel certificate or reviewing one, please contact my office. I'd be happy to help. Thanks, and I look forward to talking to you soon.